Fortunately, Elise is on vacation.
Hmm.
Elise this week.
She's in Florida, right?
Yep.
Must be nice. It's funny because she like when I'm up at like 10:30, I see her like reacting to stuff in chats, and I'm like, oh, why is she up at 4:30 in the morning? But
She's kids day. On vacation.
yes, I thought that was
Elise.
Mr. Potato. She's in Florida, right?
Yep.
Man, I'm excited. US Open. Heard good things about this golf course. I hope it gets lost.
I don't think it's going to get lost.
I would agree.
It would be chilling if it did get lost. But I don't think it's going to get lost.
Yeah, we talk about it in a thing, but fortunately, I don't think the morning. I have a test for Thursday morning, so we'll see. We shall see.
You what on what morning?
Thursday morning, I have a take about, I think, how far back Mr. Spieth will be by the time he's teeing off.
I have a number in mind too.
I look forward to.
Also have a number.
I think our numbers are going to be the same.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because it's out there. I think
There's
it
going
is.
to be a lot of disparity, I believe.
However, I think it'll come back down to earth as
No, I'd
There
agree.
are going to be some high scores this week.
I think it ends around the same
as the
what-
FRL. That seems fair, yeah.
Ish.
So I'm
Yeah.
on my new computer and not signed in to go get that. Is there any way somebody could tweet the link on go get that and post it to Instagram? I posted on my Twitter, so the link is right there.
I can post it on Twitter.
Thank you, Doug.
Is Cam Smith on your betting card, Bob?
No,
No, okay.
I do have him for tons though, so I hope.
Oh, gotcha. Well, you hope Spieth wins, but if Spieth doesn't win, then it's accepted for Cam Smith to win.
Yes, please speak. I can't believe I've talked myself into this.
Come on, man. I mean, if we look at the US Open venues, I mean, not many men in the field with a better chance than Jay Spieth this week.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. There are definitely quite a few, I believe.
There's the big three: Rahm, Scheffler,
Four.
Spieth. Rahm, Scheffler, Spieth. Well, Rahm,
Um,
Scheffler, Spieth, Brooks. My bad.
Very happy to not hear you say McElroy in that group.
No,
Thank you.
not at all.
This is a major, Mr. Carp. This is a
Exactly.
major.
It's amazing.
Do you have some people flooding in here? We'll get going in just a second. Is it up on Twitter, Dan?
It is now.
Good. We'll
Nice.
I did not tweet the link, but I quote tweeted me tweeting the link.
That works. Is it a SIM card for the Dan Camp?
It is a SIM card.
Congrats to the SIM card.
all right. We good to go.
I can talk. I like to talk. I'm ready to talk.
Looking
Yes.
forward to this. I'll be treating myself to Moe's tonight when I'm finished. While yes, Moe's is better than Chipotle, and I do not want to hear it.
Don't consume much of Chipotle. So
All right, are we good to go? I'll
Yeah.
start if you want.
if you'd like to start, you can start.
I like to talk. So yeah.
I know you like to talk. I like to talk. Dan likes to talk.
I think all three of us
Talk.
liking to talk is good considering what we do every week.
Yeah, that's true. You make
All
a
right, just
very
start.
valid point.
And we will be good to go.
You ready?
We are happy to answer questions in the chat today.
Yeah, we'll answer questions.
I got a few DMs about that. So yes, please
Let
leave.
me
We'll
let
get
me
through.
pull the YouTube up so I can see these questions.
All right.
I'm coming. I'm sorry. I'm slow.
No worries. No worries.
Volume
Exciting.
off. We ready? You ready?
Ready.
Let's roll. Oh, I need a I need permission.
Oh, there we
Can't
go.
go without permission.
Here we go.
Bob and permission.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Go Get That podcast. Apologies as something else was going through my mind as I was doing the intro. We are back at it for episode 92, I believe. Episode 92.
92.
We are previewing the Los Angeles Country Club, which is just a magnificent course. I'm super excited. This course has been hyped up for a long time. Really different from anything we've seen in recent years. Some really cool features, just the slopage and the greens, the
Barranca
around the golf course, which are basically like 50-50. If you have even like a lie, you can get on it. If you do, it's probably a sandy lie with maybe some grass right up against it. Balls could get lost in there. It's basically a hazard and you're hoping to find it. But I don't think it's red stakes. So I believe that if you lose your ball, it will be a re-hit, which is cool. I don't know how many balls get lost in there, but from what I was seeing, there was definitely some rough stuff in there that you could definitely lose. I mean, I guess they have markers out there, but it's a cool course. Ranges everything from 295-yard par threes to 650-yard par fives to 78-yard par threes. So pretty cool course overall.
big range.
What'd you say?
Big range. I mean, the yardage of the holes, as you were mentioning.
Yes. It's big range.
It'll be interesting. It'll be cool to see how it's set up. You got the 290-yard par threes. You got what, 7 and 11. They obviously won't be, unfortunately, stretched out every day, just because I think the USGA will not opt for that. But I really hope we get a day where you get, 290 and 70, as you said, 70 at 15 and then 290 at 7. That'd be really cool. It's the venue's different than what we're usually accustomed with the US Open. We're used to the Northeast, bully ball, Brooks Koepka, just bomb and gouge. And I don't think it's not gonna be like that this week. I think off the tee is obviously still going to be important, which hopefully should play into Jordan's hands, considering how he's driven it lately. But it's not going to be, driver, hack it out, wing foot style, Oak Hill. It's going to be different. It's going to be plotting your way around the golf course, and no one plots better than Michael Greller. So that's exciting. There's, we've heard a ton of different course comps. We've heard Augusta, we've heard Chambers, we've heard Pinehurst. Kapalua. So 3 of those, Jordan's played well at, being Augusta, Kapalua, and Chambers. So in theory, should set up pretty decent for Jordan in terms of, US Open venues. And I think all 3 of us are excited. It's new. We like new.
Yes. Yeah, I think I'm just excited about the uniqueness of it, right? There's a drivable par 4, number 6 at 284 on the card, I think, and then number 7 is at 290 on the card, or number 11. So you got a longer par 3 than you do a par 4, which is amazing. I think it's gonna be, there's no rain in the forecast, so it should be pretty firm, although there might be some slight instances where waves or the morning plays quite a bit easier than the afternoon, just because the sun won't be out until later. But Good weather, shouldn't be any delays other than waiting on the tee boxes because I think a lot of this golf course kind of overlaps. It's a little Southern Hillsy in that sense. So
It's
I think No Laying Up was saying it's going to be 5.5 6-hour rounds, which
I'm
just
ready. Ready.
absolutely brutal.
not
Hopefully they have some cool drone shots and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I think the TV production should be better. They're cutting back on commercials. So
Got Zinger.
we got Zinger all ready to go, and Dan Hicks is always, decent.
Steve Sands conducting interviews.
Oh God.
question from the chat before I get into some other thoughts. What
Yeah.
would be a finish for Mr. Spieth this week? That would be a win.
Win. That's it.
The major, we are hoping for a win. Top five. I guess I'd take a top five. If you gave me a top five right now, I might take it. I might not.
I can't take it.
You can't take it. I think
I
but
probably
you can say a good at the end of the week. I think you can say a good finish is like a top 12, but like doesn't matter.
Well, Jay Spieth
Yeah.
is due for a good finish at the US Open. So yeah, the biggest thing for me this week about this course is the disparity and how it's going to really expose people's golf games. If Mr. Spieth can hit it well throughout the week, he should have no problem getting to double digits under par. I really don't think. I really think the winning score will be closer to minus 12 or 13 than it will be to minus 3 or 4.
Okay.
Listen, I think we could see a few 80s out here from big names this week. Just through the flyovers, you can tell that like if you're missing your spots, you're going to make a lot of big numbers, and you're going to rack those numbers up very fast.
Yeah.
They're not. This course is, but if the fairways are not necessarily that bad, if you can hit fairways and keep yourself in position, you're not going to be making as many big numbers as people have been hinting at. But if you're missing big all week and you're missing with the poles, or you're missing with the blocks, or you're snap hooking it off the tee, you're going to make a lot of bogeys very fast. Would not be surprised if we see some big names make 4, 5, 6 bogeys in a row this week. But I do think that if you are keeping the ball in play, this course will play pretty easy. I just think that overall, the fairways are just too generous for this course to play like an Oak Hill or a Winged Foot or something of that. They're too big. So the players who are hitting it well off the tee are not going to be getting themselves into many sticky situations.
I think that the trouble lies around the greens, though. Like
It does.
There's a lot of spots where you can hit if the greens get firmed up in the afternoon. Because I think in the morning, Thursday morning, we were talking about this right before. Like, what do you guys think the leading score will be Thursday morning? I think there's 64.
I think
maybe even 63. Like it's if it's gonna play where the sun doesn't shine until noon, like I think guys will be able to fire 5, 6, 7 under Thursday morning. But you're also, to your point, Bob, you're gonna see an 80, probably multiple 80s.
There'll be some ejects.
There would not be surprised. Do not be surprised if you look over at your leaderboard on Thursday night and Mr. Finau is double digits over par. He seems like a guy who could get himself into some sticky situations at this golf course.
Yeah, and
my pick to win this week is not Tony Finau. So don't.
Yeah, and there's big numbers. And I think
Finau 16 under, win by 6.
Yeah, you mentioned the bogey train, and I think that's kind of what's going to keep the score below 10 under. I do think it's not going to be a US Open where it's going to be -1, -2, -3, but I think the sweet spot is like -8.
I also think that there's a chance. I was looking at this when I was looking at bets, and it was the over under for people finishing like under par. I think we could see a winning score of -12, but only like 12 or 13 people finish under par.
I think that's fair.
I think there's just going to be a lot of disparity. We're not going to have 20 people within 2 shots going into Sunday. It's just not what you're going to see at this golf course. This course is going to expose the bad strikers. It's going to expose the people that are making a mess of themselves around the greens. and the people that are hanging in there and making birdies on the par fives and playing the holes the most strategic way, there's going to be a lot of strategy that's involved this week. People are going to, I mean, you heard Ricky Fowler talk about he might even be laying up when it's 75 yards. Because of just the angle, there's a better chance he could hole it out from the fairway to the right with much less of a chance of a bogey.
The loser mentality.
Yeah, that's so brutal. How do you lay up from 80 yards?
But regardless, Team Spieth is gonna have to think about some shots this week. We see Jordan not have much patience in recent years. He's gonna need to have patience this week. It's gonna be long rounds. He's gonna need to pick the best shot. He's going to need to pick spots because you really need to miss in the right areas. But overall, Jordan and I don't know if Dan did, but at the beginning of the year, we crossed Jay Spieth off for this week. I did. Yes. We were thinking from Oak Hill straight to El Pool. So, but now we've kind of talked ourselves into a victory this week, which is fantastic. So
well, I think Jordan can kind of touch on it, but like the ways Spieth's driven the ball recently, this place seems to kind of fit his game. Obviously, you mentioned Chambers, mentioned Augusta, but like any specifics that make you feel this way, Jordan?
Just the slopiness, the thinking of, the ground's just not flat. Just going back to the driver, I was thinking about this. There's zero excuse for Jordan Spieth to drive the ball poorly this week. If I hear after like Saturday or Sunday, I just didn't come in feeling very good over the driver, I might, shoot myself. Because let's go back here. Oak Hill. Spieth drove the ball phenomenally around Oak Hill. Phenomenally, like one of the best weeks he's ever driven it in his career. What was he?
Pretty sure he was first off the tee that week.
Fourth. He was fourth.
He was first after one round at least.
Yeah. He was fourth behind Bryson, Cantlay, Scheffler. Fourth. It's pretty darn good. Big ballpark. Fourth. And then you had a bad week at the Schwab, but the Schwab isn't, a big ballpark. You're not hitting a ton of drivers there. Didn't drive it well there. And then we go to Memorial, another, big ballpark. And what's he do? He is 6 in the field off the tee. Another massive, place. So that's 2 elite driving performances from Jordan Spieth his last 2 times around, big tracks. No different this week. So there's absolutely no excuse for him to drive it poorly. It should be a strength of his game. He should be playing from the fairway routinely. And the hope is, he cleans up, some of the wedge shots that we saw at Memorial, because he's going to have a lot of wedges this week. I know it's a big take out the par threes, obviously, because they're just all long. But if you're hitting the fairway on a par 4, you're going to have a lot of wedges because it's going to be firm fairways. You're going to get a lot of run if you hit the fairway. So hopefully the wedges are dialed in and he should have a lot of good chances.
Yeah. Wedge shots from 100 to 150, but then also the ones around the greens, the pitches from 35, 40 yards, because I think while the rough isn't as US Open-y as it typically is, because we're not in the Northeast, there's still plenty of bad lies to be had. And if you miss the fairway, so you're just going to get a bad lie at some point. And the best thing you can do is get it up to 45 yards, and you're going to have to be able to put that inside of, 12 feet pretty consistently and make a few of those putts to hang in it. There's still going to be, it's a different US Open, but there's still the US Open idea of like,
fairways.
Fairways, and like you gotta make some putts inside of 12 feet. I mean, we were one round of atrocious putting at the Memorial away from like really being there come Sunday. He lost 3 strokes on the greens on Saturday.
Nice.
And he lost by 3. He lost by 3.
Yeah.
He puts average on Saturday, and he, in theory, is right there at the end on Sunday. So look, game's in a good spot. I do think the proximity, as you mentioned, with some of the iron play needs to have a bit of an uptick, especially around here if the greens firm up in the afternoon. And it's important to hit yardages of distance control. Cause I think with how slopey it is, if you miss a couple yards right, you could be kicking down some hill, leave yourself in a tough spot to two putt, let alone make a birdie. So certainly hoping that the iron game proximity has dialed itself in a little bit here.
Yeah, for sure. I heard today, Wednesday, that he played I think what the person told me. He might have played all 18 today, but just wedges and putter. So
Kind of like that actually.
yeah, he went full, Tiger. Tiger typically does that. I think Sunday of Masters week coming in, he'll just play holes with just the wedges and the putter, and that's what Jordan went with today. So obviously there's going to be an emphasis on, not hitting every wedge shot to 30 feet like you did at Memorial. Obviously that's going to be an emphasis. The short game was a lot better at Memorial, which was nice to see more Jordan speak like. So he was working on that today, getting that dialed in. And then with the rough that you were mentioning, it's the same grass type. And I don't know which account I saw on Instagram post. They dropped the ball in the rough. It's like spongy. It reminds me of the Schwab. It reminds me of Colonial a lot.
Yeah.
You'll get some lies there where like it's not deep, but when the greens firm up, it's very difficult to hold the greens if you're playing from the rough. So that's kind of what it reminded me of.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to be very spongy, sticky rough. It's going to be tough to get clubs through the ball from 180 yards plus. We're going to see a lot of chunk outs and a lot of layups from 200 yards. It's just how the rough is this week. But again, the fairways are not that crazy. He should be able to hit fairways this week. There's no issue not be able to hit fairways this week. He's driving the ball well coming in for what we know. And yeah, it's the driver will be a crucial part of this tournament, because as we know, for the last 3 years, the majors have been thrown away with either the driver or the putter. So mostly the putter, but the driver is definitely thrown away a few. So hopefully those two clubs can cooperate. I'll take my chances. If you give me a good putting week and a good driving week, I'll take my chances with how he performs fairway to green. So, yeah.
I would agree. I think the putter is kind of where I wanted to go next, because it's still a recession despite some uptick, so to speak.
I would say we were close to being out of the recession. Kind of plummeted back.
Certainly. I mean, we still haven't had good week at a national, but then a pretty poor week at O'Hill, particularly in round one when he needed it. And I'm not sure what to expect from it this week. It'd be nice to kind of start with, let's see, he starts on 10, which is weird. The afternoon featured groups are off the back to start. But and then 10's a par
Four should be a scoreable hole, I think.
Okay, so it'd be nice to, two putt on the first and then get something inside of like 8 feet within the first couple holes and see it go in. Because I think a lot of times the first one from that range misses, and then it's like, oh boy, here we go.
Here we go.
None of them are going to go in, and that's not fun to watch. It clearly it takes a toll. I feel like the lack of patience has been very apparent recently. It just seems like he's not very content with making 13 pars in a row at majors, and it's kind of like, well, that's better than forcing stuff and then making 3 bogeys to the 1 birdie. And it just seems like even par will never hurt you, right? At least not in the sense that you're
Not in any
taking
particular
a lot
round.
of- So yeah, exactly. It's like if your bad stretch is +1 for 9, that's fine, but it can't be +3, +4, because you try and force birdies and then your three jack. And that's the other thing. The 3 putts
That
you
can't
can't be above the hole, and Spieth is quite good at three putting, so that's kind of something to keep an eye on come Thursday afternoon.
Never used to be good at three putting a lot, but so have
Yeah.
times changed. No, I think I'm gonna set my bar for the week with the putter to the let's not putt like dog shit bar. I've had enough of. I'll give him credit. He putted well at Augusta. It was very nice to see that. Felt like it'd been a while since he putted well there, but I mean the guy just consistently sucks on the greens at PGAs and US Opens particularly. It's so frustrating watching other dudes make stuff, and then this guy just he can't make the 8-footer for a save par, which is crucial at a tough golf course. I'm just so look at Oak Hill. You look at the ball striking numbers at Oak Hill. He hit it great at Oak Hill. T29. If he would have putted well at Oak Hill, I mean, he would have T10. He was never catching Brooks, obviously, but it's just the putter is like a liability just far too frequently at majors, and you cannot win. That's the thing with Scotty this week too. Like, you can't expect Scotty to continue to ball strike it at the level he has been. He's going to need a lot of cooperation from the putter. Spieth and Scotty are kind of the same. Who's going to putt well this week?
Yeah.
That's who knows.
No, yeah. So someone in the chat just asked how he putted horribly at Riviera, and is that the same grass type? It is not. No. Riviera is Poana, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And this is bent grass, which is Jordan's best surface. So
slopey bent grass.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What bent grass?
Slopey bent grass.
Slopey.
Like slopey,
just like Jordan likes.
Grass. Yeah.
So yeah, the putting, we have no excuses when it comes to the putter this week. I was gonna set my bar for like Thursday.
Green. Sorry, go ahead.
I kind of wanted to see this. This is what I want. I'm always like make a birdie for a bogey, but I'd really like to see him get to 2 under before he gets to over par. Because every time in recent he either starts awful or he makes a birdie and then throws it away somewhere very quickly.
Well, the good news for that, Bob, is 10, you got a 409-yard par 4, and then 11, you got a 290-yard par 3. So obviously he won't birdie 10 and, give it right back at the long 11th hole. So nothing to worry about.
Well, but it's okay if he gives the birdie right back. I'm just saying, I'd rather not see him give 2 right back before he get on a little train. So that's my deep dive into where I think what Jordan needs to do tomorrow. I think he needs to get a little bit of a momentum kick going, get a few birdies early. I'd like to see an under par front 9. I really would. I know we'd probably all sign for a 35, but I'd like to see a 34.
Yeah. Well, I think too, day one of a major feels more important than it probably is, right?
Oh, it's important. Justin Ray with his stats after day one.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But like in the media, it's like, I mean, Koepka was +2 at the PGA and came back.
Yeah.
And obviously Koepka's a different sort of breed of champion than most, but it's like being in the mix in the top 10, you get all this, attention, and just, it feels like, all right, you've got a foothold in this tournament. Whereas if you're T36, like Jordan Spieth has consistently been, or even worse, T72, then it's like, what are we even doing? But it's just like the margin for error is so small the last 3 days. And it'd be nice to get to Sunday and have a larger margin for error.
In terms of winning the golf tournament?
Sure. But it feels like, I mean, I don't know, when we go to, trying to think, the 2021 Open, Thursday was fantastic, right?
Yep.
It was a 5 under, and it's like, all right, Spieth's in this thing.
Yeah.
And then it was a 3 under, and then Saturday he kind of threw away his margin for error come Sunday.
On 2 holes, yeah.
I guess I would like the margin of error to still be bigger still be like decently sized after Thursday. I feel like that's a decent goal. Cause that's just,
Well-
it's like, doesn't happen very often. Even the Masters this year, like he threw what, 3 shots away on 3 holes and still shot 69. And it's like,
I'd like to see shots not really be thrown away this year.
That'll
yeah.
happen.
Well,
That-
yeah, I mean, he's gonna throw away 1 tomorrow at least.
I know, but it's been a problem recently, at least, where he's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like he's in the major mentality that he usually is. You know what I mean?
I don't, the last time he's been there though is like. I don't even know.
Royal St. George's.
21? Yeah, 21 open. That for real felt like, all right, this
We
is
played
what-
great golf there. I mean,
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he deserved to be where he was. And, well, he deserved to win, but he deserved to be in contention. He hasn't deserved to be in contention at any of these past majors. He hasn't played good.
100%. And I think it stems from poor Thursday, like, patience.
Yeah, patience.
It's just, it feels, the thing I worry a little bit about is like somebody's gonna, like, I don't know if Corey Connors is off in the morning, but Corey Connors is gonna shoot 63 tomorrow. And then Spieth's gonna be like, oh my God, I'm 7 back already. And then he's gonna try and play catch up and then shoot a 72 and be 9 back going into Friday morning. And it's like, what are we?
Tournament over.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, how about you just go fire a 69 and then go shoot a 67 on Friday and let Corey Connors like fumble it, and then you're a couple back. The constant improvement every day would be ideal, but it's Spieth, so it's going to be all over the map. We could get
However-
75, 66, 78, 80.
Yeah, however, I won't discourage if someone were to tell me that he goes 64, 68. I won't be devastated at that by
I
any
could
means.
live with that, I think.
If he backtracks just a bit.
Dude, if he fires a 64 tomorrow afternoon, that's the round of the day.
If he fires 64
For the
tomorrow,
wave. For the wave, I should
would
say.
be- I'm not sure 64 will be out there for the afternoon.
It won't. be.
Probably not.
66 in the afternoon is probably I genuinely believe that once the sun starts shining, I think it's going to play 2 shots harder,
Yeah, that would be chills.
which because we talked about how you could see some guy kind of 10 guys separate themselves in a sense, and the leaderboard kind of spread out. But I think that if the clouds hang over the morning enough, there could be some 3-unders out there on the weekend mornings that get guys kind of back into the picture.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll just have to see how firm it really is. Because
Well-
obviously, like, you listen to people on Twitter talk about it, and you've got some people saying it's soft, you've got some people saying it's firm, and it's like, well, which
A lot
one
of
is
talking heads. Yeah.
it? And it's like,
I
well,
don't
let's
know.
just find out tomorrow when whoever's first off is
Yeah.
hits
Brian
the-
asked, what if Spieth turns back the clock and leads the field in putting? Well, then surely everything else will go to plan as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, surely he wouldn't drive it like he did at Bethpage. I mean,
Surely he wouldn't lead the field in putting and have the worst week of his career with another part of his game.
Right.
Or
So
make a 7
when
on a par
Omar, we're truly gonna find out the firmness until Omar Morales hits the first tee shot tomorrow.
Looking
Will you
forward
be
to
up
it.
for that, dude? Oh no,
Good
it'll be
play.
middle of the day for you then.
Will I be away for the first tee shot? Of course. Yeah, it'll be like I'll be eating lunch.
Yeah, it won't even be late for us. It will be basically lunch for us.
9:45 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll be up.
I think a Sunday finish.
Not sure if Ryan will be up. So
I think a Sunday finish for me would be like 6 in the morning.
Well, I mean, it's Houston contention that I'll obviously be watched.
Well, yes, of course, I will be awake, but it just like it'll be a long night. And then plus the recap pod, it'll be whew. I just won't sleep. It'll be an all-nighter.
yeah. Unfortunately, Elise was not able to join us tonight. She's on vacation. which is great for her. So I know everyone who's here. I know our viewer count is about to drop significantly because obviously everyone comes for Elise, but hopefully we can do our best to follow in her footsteps.
Well, yes, if we're gonna talk about betting, I don't think I've really had the chance to like
The brag.
brag. I mean,
I need to get it together. I need to sack up and get together. Down
the last-
450. Go get that points.
the last 2 months I have been cooking. And it feels good. Obviously, I've been buoyed by Mr. Brooks winning his 5th major. But I know that, these leads can shrink pretty quickly. I could be barely above positive come the end of the week. So
It's on your mind.
it is certainly on my mind. I do have a very my bets are not very risky, I guess I should say. I have a very top heavy card.
Protect your lead. That's fine,
But I do think it's well spread out. So
I won't lie, Dan. I would say that your bets are definitely risky for what I'm seeing.
how so? I literally have 5 of the top 10 favorites to win.
Yeah, but
I have
that's
a bet of somebody to beat Rory in a major.
well, that's the only problem, Dan, is if one of those people don't win,
Okay.
in a little bit of trouble. Also, I'm going to say right now and just get this out of the way, Morikawa, it will not be a factor this week. Just wanted to put that out there.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. I feel a lot better about putting him on my card now. He was a late ad. I guess I might as well just drop.
Would you like to share all of your outrights? Yes.
Yeah, I might as well. So I have 5 outrights. Originally it was going to be 3, and then it moved to 4, and now it's at 5, and they're all 35 or 1 to shorter.
Wow.
So Scotty Scheffler, I have him on the card. I got quite a bit on him. He just
Should win.
if he loses half a stroke every day, he could win on the greens. He's hitting the ball so well. In theory, that has to regress. But I also think he's kind of due for a win in a sense. I know he won the Players, but guys who play at this level, you think about even Rahm has now got a second major, Morikawa got a second major, pretty short time period. Spieth obviously ripped off 3 in 3 years. Rory got his 4 in a few years. Brooks got his first 4 in a few years. So it's guys will win these majors in bunches, and it seems like this could be a spot for Scheffler to grab his second. And then I've got Koepka again. I just can't not bet him. He's just a different animal in these things, and I think he's feeling really good. He's the Masters, and then he won the PGA. And I don't see why this course wouldn't set up well for him. Because if you look at his data golf page, his driving numbers are insane. He's plus distance and he's plus accuracy.
Good combo.
And it's plus 6% accuracy and it's amazing. And then we get to the people who probably will not win, but why not? I put some on Xander. Go ahead, laugh at me.
I won't laugh.
But
it's I don't know. I'm just maybe he's been playing really good golf. It's Southern Cal. I think this fits his game pretty well. If he can kind of get rolling, because you remember he won the Scottish last year, and this is a little bit of a different setup in some ways, but this has also been compared to somewhat of an open setup with how dry and kind of rolly things are going to be. So why not Xander? And then talk about Morikawa. He was really good on approach at the Memorial and then hurt his back. But his number is he's 35 to 1. And I think he's a better player than that. And I think this fits it because you have to be long, but I think if you hit the fairway, which he has been doing, then it's going to roll out and approach play is going to be prevalent. And he's really good at that. And then I threw a little on Jordan Spieth because why not? It in theory fits his game to a T. We've heard Chambers Bay, we've heard all this other stuff. So And I think there's probably 12 guys that can win this tournament. I don't even have them named, but I think then I've got 5 of them covered. So, um,
No Rory in there. He's not one of those top 12, I would have to think.
no, Rory could win this tournament.
Nah,
I am a little concerned that out of the big 4, because I'm putting Rory in there. He's a
no,
No.
Kepka, Scheffler, Rom.
Spieth.
I
Thank
was
you.
thinking about. I couldn't. It was tough to pick Kepka over Rom or pick Scheffler over Rom, but I couldn't leave Scheffler off the card, and I just can't leave Brooks off the card either. Also, it's just hard to win 2 majors in a season. I think Rom will play well, but I don't think he gets the job done. Although his Southern Cal performances at Torrey Pines are certainly
Totally different golf course.
I can follow that up by saying that John Rahm will be on my card this week.
Congrats to Rom.
I am
yes.
I
Congrats
think I
to
can
Rom on a
embarrassingly
2.
say I'm playing for profit this week. I really cannot afford a minus 200 week this week. So I've gone very light on the outrights, and to be frank, I have gone with value plays. 2 people that simply I believe there's too much value on to pass up. As much as I'd love to bet Kepka, I'm betting Rom because Rom at 12-1 is just kind of ridiculous. Think that he should be right there, if not worse than Scotty. If not better than Scotty. So
Wow.
yeah, I'm
That's a preposterous take.
You think Rom should be shorter odds than Scotty Scheffler right now?
not necessarily, but I think you definitely could make a case for it.
There's no case. No
there's-
case.
There's
No
case.
case.
There's
No
case.
case.
How Scotty's been putting, there's definitely a case.
No case.
What? Scheffler putted so bad and he still dusted Rom last week at Memorial.
I
He
really
almost won a tournament putting atrocious.
now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really have anything to back it up, but I'm gonna stick with it.
All right, you stick with it.
It's just a classic blue take, but go ahead.
But regardless, 12-1 is kind of ridiculous for John.
Yeah,
Rahm.
that's
All right,
that
that's
is
fair.
ridiculous.
If
That's
you
a fair
were
argument.
told you could get that a month ago, you would have been like, "Give me it, whatever."
Yeah, the fact that he's above 10, I think, is a little crazy.
Yeah. Then I'm going with DJ. Again, Chambers, Augusta.
Yeah,
He plays well at, and
I think I picked DJ in the preseason things.
he's
That's a ton of fun.
41-1.
He
That
hasn't
is
been good though.
good value for someone who I don't think we really know what's really going on with him. He has won a few live events this year. I know that's not what we are going to measure the best off of, but he's definitely got it in the tank.
Exhibitions.
So I'm going to take DJ for 10 to win. So hopefully he wins. That would be the best case.
Did you bet him at Oak Hill too?
I believe I did.
I think I recall you betting him at Oak Hill.
Yes. Jordan.
Oh, it was my turn, my outrights, or is it my whole card?
Outright.
Oh, just my outright. I only have 2.
Okay.
I think I have 7 plays. Yeah, 7 plays. So first outright would be S. Scheffler. You can boo all you want. I don't want him to win. The last thing I want to see come Sunday night is Meredith Scheffler.
Same.
Last
Same.
thing I want to see.
Same. It's time for
Why?
A speed.
It's time for A speed. I agree.
A
But
speed and S speed.
yeah, I want to see Andy and Sammy. But the last thing, he is a flusher. My headphone came out, so now I can't hear anything. So I gotta plug that back in. But there's really nothing to explain on Scotty anyway. So I'll just move on to the next guy who I have outright. I have a loser for an outright, but I'm gonna roll with Patrick Cantlay. He's a loser. I look, I have 6. Go get that points on Patrick Cantlay. 6.
Thank you. Just wanted to say that Ryan agrees with me that Rom should be shorter odds than Scotty.
And
So
I agree that Ryan needs to lose weight. So
I would agree with that as well. That was where we
I
are.
think that just proves me and Jordan's point then, if you and Ryan agree. So
He also said he will not be setting an alarm for Mr. Morales. So, I mean, maybe.
All right.
That's tough. Damn, it's sad that Olazabal not in this tournament.
I know.
Can I explain my Cantlay pick?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So he's been driving the ball phenomenally.
Yeah, he's been awesome off the tee.
His iron play has been really good. He's not putting well, which is very anti Patrick Cantlay. It should turn around. He's got some prior course knowledge. He played well at Oak Hill with a little T9 action, a little T14 at Augusta. Again, he's not a winner, but he hasn't won since the BMW in August, and he doesn't seem like a guy to go a whole year without a win. So will it come this week? Probably not, but
Could it?
I had 6 left over. Go get that points, and I wanted to go with another outright. So I went with Patrick
Yeah.
Cantlay.
That's very, very valid. I mean, I don't know if we want to do this, but like, how many guys do you think could actually win this tournament? 10
I think 12.
ish. I mean, we can
Let me see. I'm gonna say
Cantlay's on that list for sure.
Yeah,
Cantlay's on the list.
I think Rom and DJ
I don't
are on
think
the list.
to be honest.
who do you think's on the list, Colin?
I don't think Cantlay's on the list.
Really?
I don't think DJ is on the list.
I don't see Cantlay winning this week.
But he could.
Actually, you know what? Yes. All right, Cantlay's on the list. I'd say Cantlay, Scotty, Rom, Hovland, Speed.
Not Hovland.
You're right. Hovland's not winning.
I think you
Epka,
have to throw Hovland on the list.
Jay Spieth.
Homa.
Yeah,
No.
He could win.
he probably won't win, but he's on the list. Come on now. Cam Smith's on the list as well.
Phil Mickelson.
Mickelson, I will
I
not.
almost put some on Mickelson.
Is on the list.
Mickelsen's
Because
very much
he
on the
showed
list.
up, man. He somehow turns up. Weird.
T Finau not on the list.
Now is not on the list. Yes.
Yeah. It's sad too. Somebody was saying like they're doing course fit stuff. Like this would be so Zalatoris-y, this golf course. And
He'll be
just
back
think
soon.
about it, and you're like, yeah, man, it really would be a Zalatoris course. But I mean,
He'll
he
be
can't finish anyway. So I don't know. I didn't know what to do with Cam Smith, to be honest, this week. Because I was thinking about it. You think about the open-ish, like the open.
Him and Spieth are like
Augusta.
very similar.
Yeah, and it's short game will be critical. I just don't think he's got the off the tee game
Yeah, it's
to
not as good as
give
the
himself
drivers,
enough
sure.
chances. I don't know if he's sharp enough.
Has he been playing well in the exhibitions?
Yes, Mickelson is on the list. And
Nicholson's on the
Rory's
list.
That is correct.
I don't know.
Cam
I mean,
Smith will miss
is
the cut from a
Is
viewer.
Rory on the list?
is Rory out in the morning?
No, which
Oh,
sucks. I would have enjoyed to watch him play.
Well, there's a
yeah,
7
I would have loved to
six
see him fire 75 before I left.
in the afternoon. Yeah, but he's gonna. I don't.
We just have to watch him shoot 75 in prime time. I can settle.
We shall see. It's either a 68 or it's a 74.
That sounds
There's
about
not
right.
much in between from Mr. Roy tomorrow. But
Well,
okay.
that's a good segue. May I do the rest of my plays?
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead.
Because my first big play of the week is Mr. McElroy to go over 70 and a half for the first round at plus 120, which I believe is ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous.
So even par or better, and it doesn't.
Even par better, and it doesn't hit. Plus, I think plus money for him to shoot over par at a major is a steal. And I have doubled down on that by putting 10 on him to miss the cut at plus 400.
Like that?
I like the strategy, Cotton.
Yes. So hopefully that hits. I will also be taking Fleetwood to do better than Finau this week at plus 120. Well, or no, plus 105. Sorry, apologies. It's good. That's a good bet. I feel like Finau's going to have a bad week this week. I'll be following that up with a plus 170 play. Mr. Flower to top 20. He has been playing very well. No, he is not on the list, but He
No.
will. I think he will play well this week. I think he will. He'll be in. I think he'll be on the cut line on Friday, but I think he'll turn it up when the pressure's off on the
You
weekend.
think we'll see Sunday orange, is what you're saying?
I think we will see Sunday orange. And I think it will be a Sunday 67 to backdoor top 20. So that's
Interesting.
Mr. Flowers
Yeah.
drop.
I now foresee a Sunday 76 to fall out of the top 20.
Well, if he lays up on 15, I will feel much worse.
I hope that can't be the Sunday pin. They can't do that. I don't think. If it's an 80-yard hole on Sunday.
I'll test the nerves. Why not?
Oh my God,
I-
that would be chills.
I
But
finally at plus 150 have Mickelson to make the cut, as
Love
I
it.
don't really know why that number is so that. I believe he was like minus 170 to make the cut at Oak Hill, right? Yeah, I don't know why.
Coming off the Masters, probably.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that's a good point.
what did he do at Oak Hill? He
I don't know.
Did he have the weekend off?
did he?
Like he might have. The only way,
T58.
Yeah, the weekend was made.
yes.
Pretty
So
clear.
I think Phil, he could pop this week, but I also think there's a chance he gets in some weird spots and he tries something Phil-esque and then he ends up in another weird spot and it's like
There could be a large number, you're saying.
yeah, there could be a Woodsian 10 on the Phil card this week.
I would not disagree. I just hope that that's on the weekend.
I think we get a Friday fist bump out of Lefty. I think we're getting a Friday fist bump.
I
Remember, Phil's
don't
going for the
know.
Grand Slam.
Not a Phil. What do you guys think the cut line's going to be? It's tough to know, right? Like
+3.
I think I was going to say that as well.
It
Yeah.
seems to be like a good bet at tough golf courses, like +3, +4.
Yeah. You think it could be higher though because you get some like 80s?
No,
Okay.
I think +3, +4. Unless this place is just way harder than we think it is, but
Yeah.
I don't foresee
Well,
that
I hope-
happening.
I hope they turn it up on.
I hope it gets cranked
tomorrow.
up fairly quickly.
I hope it gets cranked up tomorrow, but that's not really what the US Open likes to do, unfortunately. So my guess is that I want them to turn that dial all the way on Friday. So we get carnage Friday.
After Spieth finishes his morning round.
Of course. Well, yeah, they turn the dial up once Jay Spieth is 8 clear.
That'd be nice.
And then it
I'd
becomes 10
appreciate that.
Yes.
I'd appreciate that. I would take my bets with a 10-shot lead entering the weekend. I would
Hmm.
like our position.
Dude, I'd be so nervous though.
I would.
Goodness.
I'd like our. Should I go with my? I'll go with my card.
Yes.
So got my outrights. Top 10, B, K, Brooks, Koepka. Hit him with the top 20 at the PGA. That hit. We're going top 10. I don't see how he's not in the picture unless he just doesn't putt well, which can happen, I guess. But no ball strike the crap out of it like he typically does. He should be in contention. So got 50 of my 200 points on the top 10 for Brooks. And then I'm doubling down on a guy that I do not think is getting talked about enough this week. Not necessarily to win, but just to play well for a placement. Go to Wyndham Clark, who I think might be one of the most underrated players on tour right now.
He's awesome.
Yeah, Data Golf's got him as their 12th best player in the world right now. Like no one would think about that. He is even money to top 40 as the 12th best player in the world according to them.
He's even money.
Yes,
That's-
he came off. I mean, T12 at Memorial. He missed the cut at the PGA. Didn't putt well. Short game was poor, but then he won in Wells Fargo, blowing everyone out. T24 in Mexico, playing really good golf. So
And
go ahead.
the miscut at the PGA came right off the back of Wells Fargo, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I
I'm
just won
chalking that up to a rough week. Yeah,
just won my first tournament, and then he flipped it around at Memorial. He was seriously there at Memorial. He played with Hovland on Sunday
yeah.
at the Memorial.
I didn't even
So
watch.
He's a very good, very, very good player.
Yeah, so I went
I was
with the
thinking about another top 20 bet for him, but
Yeah, I went with the Wyndham double. I have Wyndham at even money to top 40. 30 go get that points on that. And then I got 15 go get that points on Wyndham to top 20. So I'm expecting a good weekend out of Mr. Clark. Next, I have a matchup. I think Bob is gonna hate this. I have JT over Jason Day. Jason Day has been playing awful golf since the Byron Nelson, and I think JT is going to have a decent week. I'm not a JT fan, but I think JT is going to stop the bleeding. We're talking about how this is a good course for Spieth.
it's a
Probably a
good
pretty decent course for JT as well, considering how
Yeah.
wild he can get off the tee. Very short games. He's -110. He's the underdog in that matchup against Jason Day. And Jason Day has, I mean, good news for Jason Day backers. He actually played a practice round this time. So that's good. But I mean, he's missed back-to-back cuts off of the Byron Nelson. So he's just not playing very good golf. So I got
He's switched irons too.
switched irons, probably not liking something. I got 40 go get that points on that. And then my last play is a guy that I didn't realize was playing as good as he was, but he is. Team Rose, Jay Rose. Another guy that's been, I mean, kind of like Bob going with the flower for the top 20. I'm going Jay Rose for the top 20. He's top 20 to
That's a good bet.
4 of his last 5 outings. He's a good long iron player, good short game, been putting well. So I went with that for my
Plays
last
well
play.
in plays well in California too. Won
Yep.
at Pebble this year.
Won a US Open.
Won a US Open before. I feel like he played well at Pebble in the 2019 US Open
Let's
as
see.
well. I think he was right there.
Yeah, T3 at Pebble.
Yeah, so he knows those West Coast US Opens pretty well. Yeah, that's a good play. He's been a lot better this year than he was the past couple of years. And I think that the firmness of the fairways will mitigate some of his distance concerns. So I like that play.
Thank you.
So I have 2 plays to wrap it up. I have 7 total. Obviously, I already mentioned my 5 outrights, but I've got Brooks over Rory for the tournament. Good chunk on that. And then Xander Schauffele to top 10 because that's kind of just what he does in US Opens. I think pull it up really quickly, but I'm pretty sure he top 10 his first 5 US Opens, the first guy to do that since. Anybody know?
Can you repeat this question again?
Xander Schauffele top 10 to his first 5 US Opens. So 5 in a row, and they were his first 5. Only one other man has done that,
Ben Hogan.
and his name, I believe, was Bobby Jones.
B. Jones.
But I should double check that. Because Ben, it could be B Hogan as well. But regardless,
Yeah, I mean B. Hogan won quite a few US Opens.
yes, but I mean, Schauffele's gone T5, T6, T3, 5, T7, T14. Like,
he's a very good loser, is what you're saying.
dude, well, yeah, he's good at getting near the top 10. So he was plus 180, which I thought was fascinating. He's Data's Golf's 3rd best player. Like, he's gonna shoot a 70 like 3 on Saturday, but then he'll follow it up with a decent finish on. It'll be a backdoor 67 on Sunday to backdoor that top 10. It's one of Elise's go-to plays, I think, is knowing Xander's going to backdoor it. But yeah, I'm excited about this week, excited about the golf course. I feel like we've got a bunch of good plays. I'm hoping we're all on the green this week because that would be very nice.
I'm hoping you both brutally lose a lot, as I am currently in a hole.
Yes, you are down big. And I
Not
hope
that
you-
far behind me, though. Not that far behind me.
Great.
So, any final thoughts? Cinderella picks.
Cinderella picks.
I kind of like Sahith Theegala.
Well, we think like 12 guys can actually win, so I guess no one.
No, but there's always one. I mean, I guess Homa
name
would
some-
kind of be a Cinderella. I mean, it's from around here.
name
it wouldn't
some
really be a-
players that won't win but might have their name be on the leaderboard.
Cam Davis.
It will not be Michael Block.
Interesting. Yes, no M block this week. It's not the same without him. I
mean,
do.
Phil.
The guy was. I think Phil was probably the guy.
Phil is the Cinderella pick.
That's the ultimate Cinderella story.
I don't think, and I don't know if you guys are in agreement with this, but I don't think there is someone besides Jay Speed that I want to win as much as I want Phil. Phil winning this week is like so close to Spieth.
Would the call be
Yeah,
if Phil won the Saudi Slam? Yeah, the Grand Slam representing Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I don't really
Please, Grand Slam triumphant, High Flyers hats.
want Phil to win. I mean, the content would be amazing.
Twitter would be an incredible place if Phil
I've
was in
seen-
contention.
Yeah, that would be something. I've seen some people on Bryson.
Yeah,
Dude,
about
he
to
was
say
awesome
Bryson.
at the PGA tee to green.
Chris could definitely win this week.
But I worry about his. I think you're gonna get some weird spots out here, and I worry about Bryson's temperament, I should say, in those spots. But also just we'll see, because I think he's been more quiet recently, and I think that's a good thing. So Bryson, I suppose, could be somewhat of a sleeper. A lot of
see.
people are on Justin Suh because he's played here before.
No thanks.
I would be surprised if he was relevant on the weekend, but Russell Henley's gotten some love. Maybe he's been pretty good this year. Wyndham Clark, I think, is a good one too.
Yeah, I like Wyndham. I'm just looking at the field, not to win, but my man Emiliano Grillo. I could see him, on the first page of the leaderboard.
Nah.
Good iron player. Bermuda grass again, that's what he just won on. I could see it.
Yeah, I could see
it.
I feel like P. Reed could lurk this week.
The
It'd be
four
so-
ace. The four ace.
It would be so P. Reed to just like
He's something.
finagle his way into the final, like one of the final four pairings on Saturday or something like that. And you're
Well,
just like, this guy.
Considering Mr. Grillo's best finish at a US Open is a T54, I might have to backtrack. Just a little. T54, T58, and 2 weekends off for Mr. Grillo. So
Well,
who knows? Who
that
knows?
could change. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe, I mean, a lot of people are on, or not a lot, but people like Fowler this week too. That would be a pretty Cinderella story, I think. But
Yeah,
I just don't, it's hard to win the first one back being a major,
Yeah, I don't really know about the Flower. He's been playing great golf, but then in typical Ricky fashion, he MC'd at the PGA. The light's starting to really get bright, and he dwindled. So who knows? I'd like to see Ricky play well.
Lights did get bright for him at the PGA.
The lights got bright, and it was a weekend off. So not great, but I think the golf gods owe us like a Sunday with Spieth, Brooks, Ricky, those three in contention. Like that would be so much fun. Like I don't want Patrick Cantlay. Patrick Cantlay is boring.
A Ricky Spieth duel so much.
I love my odds as a Spieth fan for that. I love our chances.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm
also,
sure Ricky fans would kind of like their odds too.
yeah, I think they would feel pretty good. Ricky, like, he's had a career and he's played good enough golf to have won a major.
He should have.
At some point, he's gonna get it, but I don't know. I really don't know. I hope. I mean, I don't know what I hope really, but I feel like the last two majors we've had somebody go grab it, right? Like Rahm kind of went and grabbed the Masters, Koepka went and grabbed the PGA. I really hope that we get another one of those instances and we don't get a Mito handing it to JT type.
You want someone to go get that.
Yeah, I
US
want
Open
somebody to
trophy.
go get that this weekend.
Uh, I know a go-getter, has gotten something before of the name
Yes.
Michael Greller. He got something. So
He did go and got something.
Yes, that would be
Hopefully
very
he
lovely.
goes and got something else this week.
yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Mr. Greller deserves another major. It's been nearly 6 years now.
I'm sure Mr.
Yeah.
Geller would love another cup.
Some
Wouldn't it-
people would
it'd be-
say
It'd be hilarious if Spieth had 2 US Opens.
hey, a lot of people think he's like the prototypical American golfer. People think he's the American star. So.
Yeah, but it just like
Not Scott.
US Opens, like I know he has 2 US AMs, right?
At least
But
say,
just given how good he's been at the Masters and given how good he's been at Opens, to have 2 US Opens versus like, I don't know, that'd be funny. But we can speak it into existence, right?
of course we can.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
win or bust. We either win or we lose.
correct.
Yes, if you're not first, you're last.
Correct.
Oh, you don't get paid. Like it depends on where you finish, but
I'm not getting paid. Bob's not getting paid. You're not getting paid.
no, well, yeah, I wasn't really referring to us.
You don't
but
need the money. I'll tell you that.
That's true.
I'm wishing a happy US Open week to all of you.
Same to you. I look forward to. I guess it'll be nice.
I really
You wake up tomorrow morning and the first tee time's at 9:45 a.m. Eastern. It's not at 7 in the morning.
no.
So that's
Of
nice.
course, mine still won't be up.
But it'll be a long wait till 4:43 Eastern,
It will
or
be
a
a-
long wait to like.
I don't know
11.
how much golf I'm really even going to be able to watch. I really hope that on Sunday the rounds start at 4 because I have a tournament until probably 6. So
You have they'll start. If Spieth and one of the final pairings will be off like 4 o'clock. On
I
Sunday.
think it'll be, yeah. I mean, if I remember Pebble correctly, I think it was 5:10 was the final pair.
Yeah.
that would be
So
appreciated. But I believe Torrey Pines. I believe Harding Park was early. I
yeah,
believe
I think it was, there was weather maybe. I
maybe.
can't remember.
All right. Well, do we have anything else?
No.
No, I'm excited.
Well,
Hopefully they have good drone shots because I think those could be cool.
it's a good week. Gonna go enjoy my mows.
Enjoy your mows.
Hopefully you guys enjoy your meals
Enjoy
tonight.
your moves. I'm enjoying my bedtime.
Yeah, you're about to go to bed, right? Yeah, get back to the clubs, to the
Yes.
bars.
The
When are you coming
karaoke.
home?
I will be home in a month.
Nice.
A little shorter than a
Or O
month. I will be home-
championship or after O championship?
I will be home before, well, depending on if Travelers is played by Mr. Spieth,
We await that commitment as well.
which we do await.
You
I
better.
believe I will be home before the Scottish.
Oh, that's nice. So you'll be ready to go for those 2 events.
Yes, I will be back in the States.
That's nice.
I-
Don't forget your passport.
Yes, I see it right now. I kept my passport with me very, very close because that is very, very important.
I agree.
But
All right. Well,
Good night, everyone.
salutations.
Salut-
I don't even know what that word means.
salutations.
Salutations is more of a beginning of a conversation.
Well, it's the beginning of the week, Mr. Carp.